all of you to the Avyakt Murli Reading Club. So, as yesterday, you'll remember in this Avyakt Murli of Sunday, which we had covered, it was 31st December 92. And Baba was 1 month before he's trying to wish us a happy new year. So, yesterday, Baba mentioned one thing, and it's in connection with today's Murli. Baba said that you have to celebrate the Avyakt Varsh, not some routine new year. The year to become Avyakt. Avyakt means away from this body, subtle. So in this Murli also Baba particularly tells us, I'll share the screen in a minute. Hope you all can see it now. Baba mentions about all the powers which we have to imbibe in order to become Avyakt. And Baba has almost touched upon all the powers, but also he's telling us 4 qualifications. So let's read it. It's the Murli revised of 27 July 1970. Imbibing the main powers in order to become Avyakt. So in which form is Bab Dada seeing you today? And what is he seeing on the face of each of you? Can you tell? So Baba is seeing to what extent each one of you has become these 3 A's. Avyakt image which is subtle, that is an image that attracts, Akarshan Murat in Hindi, an Alaukik image. Alaukik is a Hindi word which is not of this world, and an image of cheerfulness, Harshit Mukta. So Avyakt, Alaukik, attractive, and cheerful. So all these 4 qualities can be seen on your face. The face of each of you indicates who has become this and to what extent. So just as you see your physical face in a mirror, in the same way, can you see these qualities in this mirror? And which mirror? Baba always keeps saying that check and change in your mirror, in the mirror of your own consciousness. What vision of yourself do you see in the mirror when you look at? Out of the 4 qualifications, which is the main one? Each of you should have the practice of looking at yourself. The final stage has to be such that the face of each of you reveals all these qualities. Then Baba says at present some qualities are incognito, which means hidden, and others are visible. Some virtues are special and others are less than that. However, in the perfect stage, all these virtues will be seen to an equal extent in a visible form, through which all of you will be revealed number wise. As yesterday again Baba said, number wise and number one. What do you want to become in even giving and taking love? So everyone is number wise, but Baba likes it number one. And to the extent that someone develops virtues in a visible form, to the same extent, revelation also continues to take place. It's a beautiful word in Hindi. Revelation means pratyakshta, which also yesterday Baba was saying. That to the extent you reveal yourself, which means the virtues in a visible form, to that extent will revelation take place faster. That every soul then will say, Baba, Baba. Now it is only the BKs who are saying. Further down, Baba says, for what special task has Baba come today? For the Pandav army. Today it is the start of the bhakti for Pandavas. So do you know what newness you have to bring about in yourself? You've come to a special bhakti. And so what will you especially imbibe? So many people, it's mentioned in the brackets, which means someone in the audience is saying that each of them gave their own aim. And Baba tells teachers, tell Baba what you wish to have carried out to this Pandav army. If they hear it in advance, they will try to imbibe all of those points in themselves. And then you won't have to make any effort afterwards. But what do you wish from them? That all of them can transform themselves in 1 second. Nothing can be difficult. And those who have become instruments receive very good help. So the Baba is trying to encourage and inspire the teachers for the Pandavas from wherever they have come. The Pandav army of the previous cycle is well known anyway. The memorial of the task of the Pandavas is also well known. So you'll have to just churn on this point. Memorial means yadgar. Yesterday also Baba mentioned about a lot of memorials of us in the Avyakt Murli. And he mentioned that each and every day of the 365 days in India can be celebrated as a memorial in the form of a festival because India is a land of festivals. So now here you all can churn what Baba is trying to say. Which memorial of the task of Pandavas is well known? It could be anything. It could be even Arjuna shown in the Lokik Gita here. Arjuna taking all the knowledge from Krishna, and it is shown in the battlefield of Mahabharata. So that is one memorial, and there can be many other memorials whereby there is victory of the Pandavas. So whatever happened a cycle ago simply has to be repeated once again. And today Baba is telling you what you have to imbibe within yourself in order for you to become Avyakt and to achieve the aim that all of you just spoke about. So the Pandavas, each of them had mentioned their aim, the Lakshya, which Baba says, what is your Lakshya and what is your Lakshan? So, what is your aim and what are the qualifications which you should be imbibing in yourself to achieve that aim? So, what do you, all of you Pandavas, call yourself? You call yourselves the children of Almighty God, the Father, don't you? So, we also call Nishchay Buddhi Vijayanti, right? The ones who have full faith, complete faith. So, what are the main powers you have to imbibe within yourself in order to become Avyakt? Only then will you be able to achieve the aim that you have kept for yourself. Baba is indeed telling you which main powers you have to imbibe before you go from this bhatti. There are many powers, but the main powers needed are, Baba is enumerating them. First is the power to tolerate, Sahin Shakti, the power to discriminate, Parakhne ki Shakti, the power to condense expansion, which means Vistar se Sar Milana, from expanse to essence, to condense it. And then the power to create expansion, which means going back from Sar to Vistar. So I should know what I should be condensing and what I should be expanding. So that also needs Parakhna, that also needs discrimination. So, for example, when I have to churn the knowledge, I have to create expanse. But when I have to sit down in yoga, I have to condense. I have to condense into the Sar Yuk, the essential form. So sometimes you have to reduce expansion and sometimes you have to create expansion. Then you also need the power to pack up, which means sametna, the power to accommodate, which means samana, the power to face, which means samna. So these again so beautiful Hindi words, sametna, samana, and samna. And the power to make decisions, which means nirnay karne ki shakti. So almost Baba has covered almost the seven powers. So together with these powers, you also need the power to make others loving and cooperative, which means snehi and sayogi. And that is you also need the power to unite everyone, sangathan ki shakti. So you have to imbibe all these powers. So quite a big task to do. Only then will you be able to achieve all the qualifications. So today's entire Murli is about Baba revising the 8 powers. It is not even a question of whether it is possible. It has to happen. We definitely have to achieve this before we go home. So these are the words of those who have faith in the intellect. And for this, there is one special aspect. So Nishchay Buddhi, Baba is saying one special aspect. You have to imbibe spirituality. And together with that, there should also be the godly intoxication. So there should be, as Baba always says in Hindi, these na words starting with na. Jitna nasha hoga, first is jitna nishchay utna nasha. And jitna nasha, then utna yesterday also Baba mentioned about nishchit and nischint. So, what will be Nishchit? Your Bhavi or your Vijay. Your victory is definitely fixed, Nishchit, confirmed. And your Sthiti will be Nishchint, which means you will be having a carefree stage, a worry free stage. So, the godly intoxication has to be there. That is the Nasha. You have to imbibe both these things and let go of one thing. So, Baba is saying imbibe two things, Ruhaniyat, that is spirituality, and intoxication, Nasha, and let go of one thing. And what is that? So someone said we have to renounce being bossy. Someone someone else said we have to renounce feeling inferior. So these two forms of body consciousness, so having a very superiority complex, that ahankar, I am the one. Rubab, we call in Hindi. In Urdu, I remember these two words, rubab and ruhab. So ruh is spiritual. So ruhab is your spirituality. It is the essence of spirituality or the fragrance. Whereas the opposite is rubab, which means being very bossy, ahankari. And some souls, they feel very inferior. So Baba is saying that is good, these two words which you have said. Sometimes because you don't have faith in yourself, you're unable to be successful in some tasks. And that's why Baba says you have to renounce even feeling inferior. You also have to renounce being bossy. It's very few, two simple words, but carrying a lot of meaning. Secondly, you keep changing your form all the time. Sometimes you are one form and sometimes another. So at one time you are feeling very elated and happy and a bit ahankari as well, bossy. At other times, inferior. So Baba says, before you go from here, you have to renounce changing these forms and imbibe from this bhatti a constant form. And the constant one is, we'll revise the four things: Avyakt, Alaukik, attractive, an image of attraction, and cheerful. Acha, now Baba speaks of the tilak. All of you have a tilak, don't you? Now Baba just has to give you a gift for this bhatti. What gift will he give? All of you know we are so fond of receiving what we call sogat, Urdu word, from Madhuban or from bhattis. So what gift you will take? So Baba is saying you already have a tilak. Are you then also wearing, are you also those wearing a crown, or do you still have to be given a crown, which means the Taj? If you're wearing a small crown now, then in the future too, there would be something missing. So you have come to this bhatti to become world emperors. So the biggest of all the crowns is that of the world emperor. Rajya ka Taj, Vishwa Rajya ka. You also have to learn the lesson of what responsibilities he has. So this is what we call Zimmewari ka Taj. Sometime in the past we had covered Taj, Tilak and Tak, different types. So if you look at the Taj, it is first, Baba is saying Vishwarajya, that is the being the world emperor, and Zimmewari ka Taj, responsibility, the crown of responsibility. So this is a very good gathering. So Baba is remembering your teacher today, Dadi Chandramani. She was the zone in charge of the Punjab zone, a very mighty soul. And Baba used to call her Shere Punjab because she was very, I mean, not a fierce one like a tiger, but I mean to say that she was very, very mighty. Despite having lot of papers and obstacles coming from people in Punjab, Dadi Chandramani was very firm and stable. So she is also very happy because she sees that all her students will become world emperors. So do you know what the name of this group is? Each of you has a special virtue, and therefore this is a group of special souls. Do you consider yourselves to be special souls? Baba is asking. So let's each one of us ask ourselves. Are we really those special souls, Vishesh Atma, which Baba wants us to be? Then Baba says, look, this keychain is being given to you as a gift. So that's what physical gift was given. And it was a Trimurti keychain having Brahma, Vishnu, Shankar, the three ones. I hope the voice is clear because from my side the volume is full. So maybe the sister needs to check at
My
home.
side, the voice is little low.
Is it? Okay. So anyway, I have done it full here. Hope so it's fine now. Okay. I'll do in the settings again. Just a minute. I think it should be fine now. Right. So let's go further. Baba then says, on seeing the aim, you have to imbibe the qualifications of that aim. Again, the Lakshya and Lakshan. Now, what is the other Lakshan which Baba wants us? That you have to harmonize with the sanskars of one another. That's another thing Baba is wanting us to say. That instead of, sorry, not instead of, the first one which Baba said was superiority and inferiority complex. That's one qualification. The second is trying to harmonize each other's sanskars, one another with each other. Together with that, you're given the key as a symbol. That is, you have to go back with the key of all the powers that we just mentioned. So Baba is saying key of all powers. However, these two things will only be with you all the time when you have the accurate knowledge of the creator and the creation in your awareness. This is quite deep. Only when we have this accurate yatharth gyan of who the creator is, Baba, who he is actually, and who am I, the creation, in my awareness, in my smriti constantly, will I be able to imbibe these two things, that is harmony of sanskars and not having superiority or inferiority complex. So this gift is a souvenir to remind you of that. And do you consider yourself to be an image of success? Yesterday's entire Murli, again Sunday, it was who one who is successful is the one who is able to do shuffle his time, his energies for everything. So Samay Shwas Sankalp, that's what Baba said. Whatever you want to, you have as these alaukic gifts, you have to make them suffer. You have to use them in a worthwhile way only to become successful. The entire Murli was that. So Baba is again reminding that success means that you have to imbibe all the virtues. Dharna Murat, all guno ki dharna. That means success. Now, when you have success in everything, then you will be called the image of perfection. So, by carrying out all the tasks in the awareness of being the stars of success, you will attain the right to success. Baba always defines these three stars. I'll not go in that Murli today, but Safalta ke sitare, that's what Baba wants. Stars of success. By being the stars of success, you will develop the power to face. That's the first one, because things further, as we go further in life, things will be very, very challenging outside. It's already challenging. So the first power needed is power to face. And by keeping success in front of you, circumstances change and you will attain success in a practical way. So, quite deep to understand that Baba says if you want to attain success, you have to keep success in front of you constantly, as according to Baba in this Murli, one who is successful, the one who is able to use all the virtues, becoming the guno ki dharana, which means imbibing the virtues. So, what are the qualifications of the stars who are close? First, Baba said Safalta ke sitare. Then Baba says Samip ke sitare, the ones who are just close. They have to become like those whom they are close to. So, Bap ke Saman and Bap ke Samip. If you want to be close to Baba, you have to become like him, become close to how he is. Bap Dada's virtues and tasks will be practically visible in the stars who are close. The closer they are, the more equality will be seen in them. So Samip and Saman. Their faces will be mirrors that give visions of Bap Dada. So again, this is the ending part of visions, and the last part, Adi So Ant, whereby each one of us will be so full of all the virtues and powers that our faces would be mirrors that will give visions of Baba. And therefore, then every soul will then finally say, yes, Mera Baba, Baba has finally come. They do not have to make so much effort to give Bab Dada's introduction. Why? Because they themselves are images that give the introduction. So it's a beautiful point that in the end, the way of service is not through vacha, not through just delivering knowledge through the through your mouth, but it is through your face. And your face becomes the mirror which shows Baba. As soon as others see them, they receive the introduction to Bap Dada, and you will see such practical proof in service. Though they may see you, they will be attracted to Bap Dada because they are attracted to you. Why? Because you are an image of Bap Dada. And this is called son shows father. So love brings you closer. So do you know your image of love? Love can never remain incognito. The mark of the one you love is visible in your every step. So you have to become an image that attracts to the same extent that you are an image of cheerfulness. So these are those other two qualifications from the four. How do you become an image that attracts? It is through love for Bap Dada and for everyone else. And then to also the same extent, you become an image of cheerfulness, Harshit Mukta. So, in order to remain an image that constantly attracts, you have to adopt the subtle form, the Avyakt form, when coming into the corporeal to perform any task. This is what Baba always says that now you all are all Avyakt angels. Your angelic form has to really be revealed. And for that, make sure that you consider yourself as an Avyakt angel all the time and only for doing work corporeal, physical work, you're coming to the corporeal world. Otherwise, you're back to your angelic world. And how do we sort of develop this image, the Avyakt angel, Avyakt and Alokik image? Baba says two again virtues are needed for that, introversion and solitude. So Antarmukta and Ekant. So by imbibing the qualifications of introversion, and being in solitude, you will easily be able to achieve success in whatever aim you have kept for yourself. You can attain success then with the right instruments. So these are our instruments. Antarmukta, a beautiful Hindi word whereby my mukh should always be inside. Always look inside at self, constantly checking and changing. And solitude is a Hindi word though, sorry, an English word, but it means ekant. And when Baba says ekant means it's not remaining isolated. Ekant means ek ke ant mein, that you just go into the depths of Baba, Baba, and Baba, no one else. So that's introversion and solitude. And then now finally in the end, Baba speaks of so quite a few virtues today Baba has mentioned. Now introversion, solitude, initially it was victory and nishchay buddhi, that is having the full faith and intellect, then loveful, cheerful, and now Baba mentions Adhar, Udhar, and Udar. So I'll come to that. Adhar is support, Udhar is you're lifting someone, and Udar is kind and generous hearted. So now Baba says, which special virtue must you keep in front of you so that you can constantly attain complete success in service, full success? By having which virtue did Sakar Baba achieve success in the practical form? So someone said, since it's in the brackets, generous hearted, being open hearted and very kind. The more generous you are, Udar, Chit, the more you can become an instrument to uplift, Udhar. So Udhar and Udar. Sorry, I mean to say Udhar. Udhar is borrowing, so don't think of that. It's Udhar. Udhar Murat, and the more you are Udar Chit. And also, as I said, Adhar Murat Baba says. Adhar is support. So, by being generous, you can become worthy of receiving cooperation from everyone. Everyone will give you sahyog. Now, you should consider yourself to be the souls who are the instruments who uplift all the souls. And how can that happen? Only by becoming generous. You can uplift others by becoming generous. So, this is why you must be generous in every aspect. And Baba's explained that in detail. You have to become generous in your thoughts, words, and deeds, mansa, vacha, and karmana. You also have to become this in connection with others, sambandh sampark, which Baba means. You are becoming this and you have to continue to become this. Because the more generous hearted you become, the more you become an image that attracts. It's directly linked. Akarshan Murat is because you are kind and udar. So you have to make progress in this effort and make that visible. And how will that be visible? So Baba said through your thoughts, words, deeds, and also your connections. Mansa, Vacha, Karmana, and Sambandh Sampark. While living in Madhuban, you have to adopt sweetness and an attitude of unlimited disinterest. So Baba says Madhurta, sweetness, and Behad ki Vairag vritti. This is the main qualification of Madhuban. This is why it is called Madhuban. Okay, so a beautiful word, Madhuban. Madhu means sweet, Madhurta. But you should not be so sweet that ants come, which means at the same time when you're practicing sweetness, you don't have to let people get attached to you because you know something which is sweet, ants get attached. But at the same time, ban means forest. So forest is a sign of tapasya. So at the same time, you're sweet, but also have an attitude of unlimited disinterest. So which means being pyara and nyara, loving and detached at the same time. So if you have this aim whilst living outside, it means that you're a Madhuban resident. So this is for all of us who are living at homes. So though we are living physically at home, but through our mind and intellect, we're all in Madhuban because that's our original home. So Baba says you can also become a Madhuban resident whilst living outside. The more responsibilities you take here, the more respect you will receive from the subjects there. So the Taj of the crown of responsibility has to be worn in order to become a Maharaja there. In order to receive cooperation, you have to have love for everyone, to have love for all, and to be cooperative with all. The more you go around everywhere, the more you can come into relationship with everyone. So this group should especially become the one that tours around everywhere because it is by coming into relationship with everyone that you will be able to give cooperation to everyone and also be able to receive cooperation from everyone. So, in detail, Baba is saying about how cooperation can be given to only those whom you love. So, love and cooperation go hand in hand. And uh, which group is Baba speaking about? It is the Pandav army, the Pandavas who had come for bhakti. So, while seeing and hearing about the speciality of each soul, and by coming into contact with them, you're able to imbibe those specialities in yourself. So, a lot of specialities, Baba has mentioned that today. So, you have to become those who are cooperative with everyone in a practical way. And for this, the Pandav army has to become those who tour around everywhere. In order for the fire of yoga to remain constantly ignited, you have to be very, very cautious about your thoughts, words, deeds, and relationships. The fire of yoga to be constantly ignited, which means in Hindi we say, हमेशा ज्वाला प्रज्वलित हो, योग की अग्नि प्रज्वलित हो. For that, we would be very cautious in what we are thinking, speaking, and doing while coming in relationships. Then this fire will remain alight all the time. If you repeatedly ignite it and then put it out, time will be wasted and your status also will be reduced. So you must have as much power as you have love. So sneha ke saath shakti bhi. So can you become subtle in 1 second and corporeal in 1 second? Let's practice this for now itself. Become subtle in 1 second, Avyakt, and the next second become corporeal. This is what Baba says, that this service is also essential. Just as you have many physical instruments for service, in the same way, this practice of coming into the body in 1 second and being away, becoming Avyakt, is also an instrument for the benefit of many souls. And I remember, I think last year, a revised Murli at the new year 2022 was just starting 1st January. Baba mentioned that you have to practice this drill of coming into the body, going away from the body at least 24 times a day. That Baba meant every hour you have to do once. He then said, if that is not possible, at least 12 times a day. I think 12 times a day, finding out this time is it's very easy to do. And this is a practice which we have to keep doing so that we can become Avyakt angels. And that's the part which all of us have to play in future. So you can then attract any soul through this service of practicing the drill. There is no expense in this. Create plans where you can achieve greater glorification through less expense, which is kam kharch bala nashin. Each one of you has one special power or another, but if each of you has all the virtues, what will you then become? A master, almighty authority. So you have to become elevated in all virtues. So Baba is saying, just imbibe one power, one special power which you like, but that will help you in attracting all the virtues in yourself. And then you will become a master, almighty authority. And finally, Baba says the special deities have all the virtues to an equal extent. Therefore, yesterday also Baba said, that's what your name is. What is the Mahima? What is the greatness of deities? Sarvagun Sampan, Sola Kala Sampun, and so on. That's the reason. So now you have to make this effort. Acha, Om Shanti. So I'll just stop sharing. We'll spend a minute in silence and then you all can start sharing. Yes, you all can start sharing.
Om Shanti, brother. Baba says you should know your specialities, but at the same time, you should not feel inferior or should be egoistic. It's a very fine practice. I would like to take on this exercise. Thank you, Baba. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Today, Baba said that you have to increase your power according all along with the love. So you have to, in order to maintain your status, you need to be strong and increase your power. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Good morning, everyone. I like the point where my Baba has told that in order for the power of fire to be continuously ignited, you need to be very careful with your thoughts, words, and deeds. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, brother.
Om Shanti, Girija-ben, go ahead. Girija-ben?
Om Shanti, brother. Yeah, it was a beautiful revelation. Every time Baba places the Shaktis in the front. Today, Baba has really stressed on the backbone of the Yajna, the Pandavas. We are both the Shaktis and Pandavas, but the qualities which are needed for the Pandavas, the backbone, is really amazing. Oh my God, what a big list he has given. Especially he started with 2 powers, then he went to the 4 powers, then he made 2 and 9 powers he has given to the, in fact, he says all the power, because the fortress, the backbone is important. And yes, brother, when you rightly even referred to the revelation, Murli, of yesterday, it touched me how we have to use everything, our virtues. So Baba first spoke of the powers. What are the powers which are needed? And in each of the powers, whether it's the power of tolerance or whether it's power of backup or whether power to reduce, that is become Sat Vistar and Vistar Tesar. So much homework he has given us the Pandavas, whether it's going to be loving and cooperative. This one list he gives, then he says you have to use everything in a worthwhile way. Like, for example, yesterday when he said use your breath to remain healthy, and the other treasure so that you have no advisors in the future and powers. So to reveal him, he wants both these people, the Shakti and the Pandavas, who are the main pillars of the Yajna, to really come forward and then reveal. So I was just going through today what he was talking about for the Pandavami. So just like yesterday's Murli, which I tried to do, I think I'm going to today take up all this thing. How can I be a good backbone for the Yajna? How can I really be a fortress? How can I really be a person like there is somebody who can uplift people? How can I be big, open-hearted and generous so that I can lift all these people and bring them closer? And how at the end, like yesterday when Baba said, make the lips and the heart of everyone not just say, oh Prabhu or Wah Baba, but my Baba, Baba, Baba. I think this Murli is in short a little for revelation of Baba. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, brother. I like this point, the definition regarding the Madhuban resident. Basically, to have the sweetness, that is a love for everyone, and yet an attitude of unlimited disinterest. This is the main qualification of Madhuban, and that is, I'll apply this in the day-to-day routine, that while living outside, I'll still be a Madhuban resident. So that Baba has given that key for it, how to do that. Om Shanti.
Hello, Om Shanti, Paisa and Divine Family. I will be working on 2 things. Number 1, I will working on strengthening my faith in Baba in order to stay intoxicated in his love. And number 2, power to expand as well as to from expansion to essence. So these are 2 points I need to practice. Thank you, and Om Shanti, everyone.
Om Shanti. Another aspect is what Baba brought out is, in order for the fire of yoga to remain constantly ignited, I have to be very cautious about my thoughts, words, deeds, and relationships. That is another homework which I have to check whether my fire of yoga is constantly ignited or not. If it is lesser, then I have to check my thoughts, words, where I'm going wrong, and probably the deeds or the relationships. Am I too attached with the relationships? So this is this, and Baba has given a drill for that. He become subtle in 1 second and go beyond uh, 1 second. When it's subtle in 1 second and come back to this body in a second, and again that power to go beyond in 1 second. Om Shanti.
Shanti. This Murli is a revision of all the powers that we've learned in the first 7 days of Rajyoga. It's also a combination of powers plus virtues. The point that touched me the more in today's Murli is considering you, the soul, as being a Nimit soul to uplift other souls. And there, Baba is talking about imbibing the power of generosity and has given a method how to imbibe and increase the power of generosity. So that's the homework that I'm going to be taking on to myself, considering myself as a Nimit soul, and how can I imbibe the power of and the virtue of being generous all the time. Om Shanti.
And there's one more thing, I would just like to share, brother. This word in introversion and solitude. It's got such a deep meaning. As you very said, antarmukta. My face should go so deep inside. My face is directed. I'm not looking out as if my eyes and everything. I go to the inside of my body through my thing and I look within. And that's, we always tend to be outside. We look towards outside, we would see. But this is a deep process to look within. So it needs a thing to love myself, accept myself, say I'm a beautiful image. And that one word I really like, because even in yesterday's Murli, Baba said, first you have to transform yourself. So this introversion is needed for me to go inside and change. And the other one is solitude. Yes, ek ke ant mein. I used to always think the solitude, is it something like loneliness? No, it is just being absorbed in the love of one and only one. I traverse and traverse and traverse. At the end, I found, like Wordsworth found daffodils, I only found him. So going deeper and deeper, I think these two words are very, really nice to go deep and deep and deep within myself and within Baba. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. One more aspect which is very striking is that definition of success. What is earlier I used to believe that success is basically material attainments and to get the kind of job which I was looking, or to get this some kind of project completed in time. But here Baba has given the definition of success is that to imbibe all the virtues. Sarvagun Sampannata is the success, and when you have success in everything, you will be called the image of perfection. So both definition of success and the to how to be an image of perfection, Baba has given very easy definition. I have to constantly check if I am full of happiness, that is I am successful. I am full of satisfaction, I am successful. I am full of joy, purity, I am successful. So that is the success. And by carrying out all tasks in the awareness of being the stars of success, you will attain the right to success. So I have to be always keeping the success in front, that I am by naturally, by nature, I am full of all these virtues, all divine virtues. So I am, a success is my birthright. I am born successful. Om Shanti.
Um, I just wanted to clarify, as Gid's sister, she gave the definition of introversion and solitude. Reflecting back on that, introversion means checking myself, going deep within myself. Solitude means ekant, going deeper, end of one. Can I consider, if I am in combined form with my Baba, me and him, we both are same. He is me and me is him. We both are in combined form. So when I'm checking myself, can I consider myself that me and him, we are both in combined form when I'm doing my introspection? So I'm just clarifying if I'm correct. Otherwise, I will differentiate. Oh, I am checking myself. Now I am checking creator, because I am the creator.
I have to check always with a reference point. The soul has to be in the stage of introversion. And the combined form, though I may be in the combined form, but I have to always check with reference to the absolute, that always, constantly, who is perfect, which is Shivaba. So I compare with, and the more I compare with, then I come to know where am I lacking, and I take it from him. He's full, always full. So I take it, and then again come feel that combinedness and the equal. Baba said, no, as closer I am, the equal I am to him. So, but in that process, I have to reduce the distance between me and Baba in the love, and then more I have to get that powers from him to make myself wholesome Bab Saman. Om Shanti.
Oh, thank you, Ji. Yeah, that makes sense.
And just one word of caution wanted to say, good sharings by all of y'all. That you said, sister, that it's good to be combined, and as Baba says, keep my company and have the form of combined form all the time. But here we have to make sure that when I say I am the creator, I am not the creator, I am master creator. It's important because sometimes this subtle ego can creep in. Oh, I am Bab Saman, which means I am the creator. Baba says, you're the creator of your thoughts, no doubt, but you are the master creator otherwise. That way, because we are finally Baba's creation. Baba is the only creator. So we need to be careful. That's fine, absolutely fine. We are combined with him, but we are master creators and not creators that way. Because sometimes ego can seep in, and that ahankar, as Baba was mentioning today, the bossiness, that can creep in. And so therefore, it is good to be combined with Baba, but be aware of not going into this ego of I being the creator. I know you never mentioned that, but it's just important to clarify that. Thanks.
Yes, Bhaiji, and the checking is if there is even a subtle amount of I or minus in the entire process, then there is some kind of ego, and then that's where we need to be cautious. Om Shanti.
Brother, I just want to share a good news. In yesterday's Murli, Baba said, the star of you Brahmins have changed. It was such a nice one. No need for me to look at any those things which they say, this is your star today, because Baba has said yesterday in the Murli, the star of you Brahmin life has changed. Wow. He has guaranteed me that. That was a really good news for me. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. One point that touched me is Baba said it's time to harmonize with our sanskars of one another. So I think this is the only time that we can harmonize our sanskars. In order to do that, I think I have to work on towards inculcating all these powers within myself. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, just reflecting this line that the more we give love and cooperation is what we are, basically we are uniting everyone. That's very powerful and very implementable. Thank you, Baba. Om Shanti.
Okay, so Rakhi Ben, if all is done, can we go in meditation then?
Yes, Manoj Bhai.
Yeah, okay, thanks. So I'll just read the sharing. So Balwinder sister is saying that when I do introspection deepest within, I am comparing my qualities with Baba's qualities. Yes, of course. Right. So we'll just in the meditation mode, we'll just practice this drill, I think, today of coming in to the body and immediately in the next second trying to become Avyakt and reflect on these four: Avyakt, attractive, alokik, and cheerfulness. So I'll just share the music. So sit back, relax, take a deep breath. And try to situate yourself in your subtle form, the Avyakt angelic form. For the next few minutes, let's practice the incorporeal form, the subtle form, and the corporeal form. The incorporeal being the Nirakari, the soul form, the original form that I am. Then the Akari, Avyakt, angelic subtle form, the form of light and might. And then in the next second, coming the Sakari corporeal form, coming into this body for action. So let's practice this drill of being bodiless Nirakari, Avyakt Angel Akari, and corporeal Sakari form. And with the two tools which Baba mentioned today of Antarmukta introversion, whereby I just keep constantly looking at myself and checking and changing myself, not anyone else. And practicing ekant, which means going into the depths of one, none but one, Baba and Baba only. Being immersed and absorbed in the remembrance of only one. That's the true ekant, the true solitude. So coming back, let for the entire day try to practice this drill of the incorporeal and angelic form, and practicing in between as we get time, trying to get introverted and ekantvasi. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Manoj Bhai. Thank you, Divine Family. And we shall meet tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Until then, have a wonderful day.
Om Shanti.